chakra breathing. Even more important is the secret of breathing with the chakras. It is necessary that the breathing is attuned with the relevant chakra and their qualities. For example, Muladhara expresses physical strength, Svadhisthana fiery passion, and so on. To experience the effects of this attunement, it is very important to be in a special state, so that a person could feel these states and could experience them with the help of pranayama. In Tibet, the following practice is used. A yogi would perform an action related to each chakra, and then after reaching the desired state, he would begin to work actively with the prana. Actions corresponding to each of the chakras. Muladhara, physical activity, running, power exercises, dexterity, and endurance. When the body warms up and breaks into a sweat, do the pranayama. At this stage, it is more easily felt because the body itself actively begins to take in this energy from the surroundings. More often than not, the average person is unhealthy because they do not do enough physical activity to activate their body. It is extremely important to exercise to the point of perspiring every day. The positive effects of prana increase takes place at the moment when the body temperature drops rapidly, as happens when bathing in an ice hole or pouring cold water over the body, when the skin becomes red, or also as when the skin is rubbed vigorously until it turns red. At this moment, a thick layer of energy forms around the body, and a bioenergetic field is created. In these conditions, treatment will become more effective. This is why shamans dance during Kamlania rituals, just as ancient tribes did during their magical practices. Svadhisthana is activated by sexual practices when sexual desire awakens, and when ejaculation as well as physical tension from which a person loses energy are avoided. Pranayama starts, and through this a person saturates with more and more subtle energy. Diseases are often caused by too frequent ejaculation. This weakens the physical organism. Boring and mechanical intercourse is even more harmful. But at the same time, lack of sexual realization, without knowing how to transform and use redundant sexual energy, is also harmful. Manipura is the lowest emotional center, connected with social activity. Entering into a regal psychological state such as a king or other similar role, a yogi activates this chakra and fills it with the appropriate energy. But in ordinary life, the average person does the exact opposite, weakening themselves constantly and without reason, by playing the part of a subordinate, oppressed, and obliged to everyone around them. When you look at the aura of such an individual, it is easy to see a distortion and deformity in their vital body. To clear this, a person must establish a strong sense of their true essence, with feelings such as independence, freedom, and strength that are rooted in their essence with no reason to feel oppressed or timid. When you play your part correctly, energy flows harmoniously, and your psychophysical state begins to improve. One of the most powerful ways to advance and improve is to meditate on your individuality and attaining an understanding of your uniqueness and distinctness in this world. Negative emotions that arise on this level are the effects of energetic imbalances caused by feeling hurt and the various reactions that come from this, such as anger, fear, greed, etc. When a person can express themselves and role-play freely, even whilst experiencing negative emotions, instead of suppressing them, they are able to control themselves and switch their emotions over easily. Not identifying with emotional states is also very important, and to do this you can overact, and exaggerate them so that they become absurd. Anahata expresses the highest emotional states of love, selflessness, and beauty, all of which are aroused with the help of prayer and other practices, followed by pranayama. This center is often underdeveloped in people, and generally it is rare for them to experience such states, or otherwise on reaching these psychological states, there is a sudden and sharp deterioration resulting in violent, uncontrollable expressions of emotion. With such people, preliminary work is necessary, such as listening to sacred music, reading profound literature, etc. Most people settle for brute existence, not even suspecting that there are other possibilities because their anahata center is underdeveloped. Such people's interests are limited to food, clothes, money, and other people's opinions about them. A person who often experiences heartfelt joy, however, could never be content with the primitive sensations and attractions of secular life. A person has to develop their higher centers in order to really move up to a new level of existence. This is only possible when they are in touch with the elements of the highest culture, which have been left to us by the masters of humanity. Superficial and mechanical attention to the chakras will not open their inner qualities. True revelation of each chakra only happens when a person is able to connect with the rich tides of energetic wisdom, and then they must allow its expression in the outer world. Vishuddha. On this level, a yogi concentrates on creative self-expression and allows fantastic and harmonious visualizations to come forward. Opening up to this state, they then absorb energy through pranayama. All psychological problems are caused by a lack of creative imagination. Creativity is only possible when there is a flexible psychostructure, which will always provide practical solutions to any conflict or difficult situation. Such situations are the cause of stress for the average person because they are incapable of finding a creative way out. But for those who have developed a flexible and creative imagination, they never feel cornered, as there is always a way out from any deadlocked situation. Ajna is responsible for intention and logical thinking, which organizes and arranges everything with exactitude. At this level, and yogis occupy themselves with philosophical formulations, striving for absolute understanding. They direct themselves completely to this aim. Entering into the world's causal plane, which is the level of will, the yogi absorbs its power. All mentally ill and possessed people have a weak ajna chakra in common. Strengthening the ajna chakra will give a person the possibility to control all the functions of their organism. Sahasrara. On this level, a yogi unites and merges with the whole universe. They no longer feel separate from the rest of creation. They achieve a state of detached wisdom, absolute understanding and comprehension of everything, and take energy from the whole cosmos. Direct contact with God is possible in such a state. In any other state, a person prays as if to themselves, and so remains cut off, and their prayers do not reach God. At one with God, however, they feel themselves. When a chakra works incorrectly, you must turn mentally clockwise, pumping it up with energy and invoking its corresponding state. Help in treating a chakra, contemplating the yantra of each chakra by concentrating on the relative area of the corresponding chakra, musical ritual of the chakra with the corresponding mantra, the practice of lavarayana, and other methods taught in our spiritual school. Only a person whose chakras are working well can be considered whole when they can act at all levels of existence and in every sphere of life with success. Blessed is the one who can turn all their chakras. They are the masters of the world. Aum.
extreme times, when the fate of the entire planet is at stake, it is crucial for the knowledge of angels and benevolent spirits to spread as quickly as possible, globally, and reach thousands of people. In this way, we can change the future of all humanity. Which is why we are addressing you, dear soul of light. Spread the knowledge about our wise books and films. Share links to videos or cartoons. All of this is available and free. Invite women to individual practices, webinars, and seminars. And the Great Spirit of Light will help you and your family. It will direct an enormous amount of energy to fulfill all your desires. Benevolent spirits and angels will assist you and your loved ones in all matters. A thread of light and love extends from your heart to the hearts of thirsty women, and the creation of good and the dissemination of enlightened knowledge throughout the world begins. Become part of the mission of light. Help people, and God will help you.